Okay, very good. Good evening, everyone. We are here at Way Mountain Temple, starting our Dharma talk like every night. Thank you all for joining us. Okay, today let's continue with Master YongHua's Dharma instructions.
So again, today, let's talk about Master Daoan. Master Daoan had many disciples. In Chinese Buddhism, he had great merit and virtue. Despite his ugliness, when it was his turn to propagate the Dharma, he had vast affinities. That is, people who didn't believe in Buddhism came to believe in Buddhism. Bhikshus who were unwilling to cultivate upon seeing him instead felt joy in cultivating. His appearance was ugly, but he still had great affinities with everyone. So, his Dharma seat for lecturing sutras and speaking Dharma was very adorned, and the setup was exceptionally beautiful. At his Dharma seat, he had this banner and jeweled canopy, also a golden Buddha statue. An embroidered Buddha image, beautifully embroidered, and as well as painted Buddha image, painted very beautifully and adorned.
所以到他那听经的这个人呢，肃然起敬，所以生恭敬心。
So the people who went there to listen to the sutras had deep respect and had all developed a sense of reverence.
那么其中呢，就有一个佛像，也是外国送的一个佛像。这个佛像呢，
One of the Buddha statues was gifted to him by someone from a foreign country.
他呀雕刻的手工很不好，所以就一般人呢对这个佛像不恭敬。
This Buddha statue probably wasn't carved well, so ordinary people were disrespectful towards the Buddha statue.
就说这个佛像不好。
They said the Buddha statue was not carved well.
他说这个佛像可能也不错，到了过得去。
Master Dawan said, this Buddha statue is actually quite good, decently crafted.
唯独啊，这个肉髻像头上那个无间那个肉髻像啊，造的不太好。
Except the flash mount mark, the flash-mounted mark at the invisible summit on top of his head was not crafted very well.
就叫徒弟啊，升上这个炉啊，把这个肉髻再往好了做一做。
So he asked his disciple to heat the furnace to reshape the flash mount to make it better.
这个徒弟就做啊，往好了做这个肉髻像啊，是用这个磨石来磨啊，往光磨啊磨。
This disciple then took the initiative to improve the flash mount. Using a grinding stone, he polished the flash mount to make it shine.
一磨这个肉髻像呢，放光了，完全呢不用灯呢，也就照得很光很光。
Once polished, the flash mount mark started emitting light. At night, without using a lamp, it lit up very brightly.
那这个一般人到那一细一看，这个肉髻里面有一个佛的舍利子，这里边放光。
Then ordinary people went there to take a closer look and discover a Buddha relic emitting light inside the flash mount mark.
所以一般呢，当时的人就说：“难怪这个安公法师他叫磨这个肉髻底下。”
So people at that time said, "Oh no, no wonder Master An ordered his disciple to polish the flash mount mark."
一定这个法师他 知道这个你肉尽一个舍利子，所以一般人对他更相信。
He must have known there was a relic inside the flashman mark, so ordinary people believed in him even more.
Okay, stop here. Okay, let's go back over what Master YongHua's story was about. Master Tao An, he's a very famous Chinese Chan master, Chinese master, I'm sorry, Dharma master. And he had many disciples. Okay, always a good sign that you have the masters are supposed to invest in the next generation. So you accept disciples and take care of your disciples, invest in your disciples. And Master Tao An in particular is recognized for his contributions to Chinese Buddhism. So they call it as great merit and virtue. And he's kind of ugly, very ugly actually. And but he has affinities with a lot of people. So in what way? The people who came in contact with him didn't believe in Buddhism, but they became believers in Buddhism. So he inspired this kind of faith in in people, and that's very important for the monks and nuns to do. Well, whatever it takes, whatever you can do to help inspire people's faith and make them grow stronger, and that's part of our Sangha's job. Okay? And the bhikshus, the monks who were not willing to cultivate, they met with him and they enjoyed cultivating. And so he inspired people not only to believe in Buddhism, but also believe in cultivation. I don't understand this process. Okay, how can you inspire the monks and nuns to cultivate and to find joy in cultivation? Because in our cultivation, people mostly find pain and suffering. Yeah? No? I'm met with this dead silence here in our sanghas. Let me ask you, do you find joy, more joy in your cultivation? We can discuss about anything, okay? He brings it up, so let's talk about it. There's no joy in cultivation. And why are you doing it? You see, it's funny because for the Chinese back then, they find joy in cultivation. Do you find joy in cultivation in America? Yes, sir, 6. And Jeju Island?
Thank you, Master. I was deferring to the Sanghans to answer, but I did find particular joy today at lunch. I survived the detox food, which made me feel quite good about myself.
Okay, so it's the food that he's referring to. Yes, I did notice too. Our Sanghas seems to, some of them do enjoy the food, and some don't. Definitely, some don't, but some do enjoy the food. Okay, the detox food. So it's a new things we're trying. Okay, we increasing our repertoires of the dharmas we practice. So now the people who come to the temple, occasionally we put them through a special diet to detoxify their bodies. And apparently quite a few people like it. It's kind of cool. No sugar, no salt, no soy sauce, no fish sauce, no oil. Would you believe it? Anyway, no spices. Yeah? Yes, sir. 6.
Oh, well, Master, I guess, thank you. I should clarify. I took joy in surviving the detox food. To borrow a quote from you, Master, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Sounds so deadly of a diet. Okay, thank you for your clarification. How about the rest of you? Do you find joy in anywhere at all in your cultivation during a Chanqi here? Yeah? So, yes, ma'am. 9.
I just want to add, in Chinese it says, 见到他也欢喜修行. So in this context, it's more saying that upon seeing him, they also like to cultivate. They're also willing to cultivate, rather than find joy in cultivation. I think there's a slight difference.
Okay, so he helps people find joy in cultivation when they see him, or hear him, or smell him, or whatever. Okay, thank you for the clarification. So Chinese. Okay, but so he inspires them through, by their seeing him, they're inspired, and they find joy in cultivation. No?
Willing to cultivate. Isn't there a difference? Like they also want to cultivate.
They want to cultivate when they see him. You're right.
It's not necessarily saying that they find joy in cultivation.
See, that's what bothers me. Joy in cultivation seems to me there's some contradiction, there's oxymoron. Joyful cultivation. Yes, 4.
Master, I find pain in cultivation and joy when it's over with, but most of the time I get thoughts like I shouldn't do whatever I'm going to do, but I just do it anyway. And then when I'm cultivating, I get a thought like, why am I doing this? But you just have to endure it, and then there's joy after it's over with. Okay.
First of all, I want to say that I appreciate the translation. I mean, there's just a lot of work that went into this, the listening to and fine-tuning of the audio, and then the translating into English. The translation is very, very good. Okay, and it's a few spots here and there could be improved. Like here, upon the cultivate, those who see him will be a lot more active. Those who see him. When those who get to see him will enjoy cultivating, is the actual translation for this. If you don't mind, change it, okay, so that it's better next time, okay? So the people who met with him certainly found enjoyment in cultivation. So it's kind of interesting to me how it happened. Okay, from merely meeting with him and then enjoying cultivating. How is it possible? It's so interesting to me because most people, they see me, they don't like cultivating. Yes, 6.
Well, thank you, Master. And what's further interesting to me is how many times Great Master YongHua remarks that they enjoyed cultivating after meeting him despite how ugly he is.
Yeah, no, he's kind of is a turn off to look at him, and yet when they saw him,
like confronted with a truly ugly person.
Yeah, and they enjoy cultivating.
Enjoying cultivating.
That's to me, it's kind of incomprehensible.
Is there any detail as to what specifically made Master Daoan so ugly? Like, did he have like a mole with like hairs growing out of it, or what was the features that
usually they're ugly. You consider it ugly because the proportions are not there, and the outer place maybe, and the arrangements are not what you expect on a face, and so the typical standards of good looks, meaning there are even proportions and there's certain expectations. So the Chinese are different. For example, I remember my late French teacher. They went to Africa. They taught in Africa for a long time, for 10 years. So they brought back a lot of heads, African heads, and I saw them. Of course, they're black, okay, and then their standard beauty is very long neck. You saw those videos, right? Where they wear this long thing, column of necklaces that would stretch the neck. Yeah, yellow. It's beautiful. And then the ears are like they pull it out, and they're like this big thing. This wing. It's considered to be beautiful. So I look at them and say, "Wow, I'd love to go to Africa." I never did. But anyway, so the point is that each culture has different standards for beauty. So he's kind of ugly-looking Chinese guy. Yes, sir. I think we're going to be talking about ugliness for a while now.
Okay. No ugliness for me, but what I wanted to say was that I feel the same type of joy I imagine someone who trains like martial arts feels, which is just that like who wants to be punched all the time, but in the end you become stronger.
Yeah, that's quite.
And so that seems like joy to me.
Yeah, maybe that that he was practicing martial arts and he got punched in the face a few times. Never mind. I shouldn't be joking about great and virtuous Dharma master, Chinese. Okay? But it's kind of interesting that people who met this ugly monk, and then all of a sudden they enjoy cultivating. Kind of interesting thing to me. And I don't get that. If people they meet with a monk, most monks I know, okay, like Master YongHua, his disciples, and all the monks, famous monks, you meet with them, you have this. They all look nice. I haven't met really ugly-looking monks who are famous monks who inspire people to cultivate. So that's what to me is the first time I heard of a really ugly-looking monk who was able to inspire people to enjoy cultivating. It's kind of interesting. I don't see the connection. I don't understand the connection. Okay? Yeah. But so these people, these monks and nuns, enjoy cultivating. It's not like when you cultivate here, you enjoy the bliss, you feel better, you gain something you didn't have before, okay? Because you are convinced to give it a try, and somehow you survive, and you were able to recover from your failure. Okay, because our training is pretty tough. You fail in everything we ask you to do. You're supposed to fail. Okay, and so for us in our environment to say you enjoy cultivating is kind of an exaggeration. It's a challenge to cultivate, but to say to enjoy it, it's extreme. Okay, so I don't understand this process. Yeah? Yes, 6.
Thank you, Master. We have a couple comments from our YouTube audience. And I would like to express my sincere gratitude to each and every one of you on YouTube joining us this evening. From Vicky Sprout. Vicky says, I have joy when I'm in samadhi. And from Apple says, the process of cultivation isn't joyful, but the benefits I get from cultivation make my life more full of joy.
Okay, very good. I appreciate the input. Yes, it's hard for you, but if you don't give up, you'll find your life to be more meaningful, more joyful. That's a fact. Yes? Why is that? You know, the secret of our life is that joy comes from where? People look for joys at things like drinking, like eating, like gambling, like smoking. But they fail to understand that joy comes from what? Four.
Suffering.
No, don't scare them, please. You're too extreme. You look too joyful. Yes, one.
From your heart, Master.
From your heart. Same thing, huh? Four, from your heart. Yeah? Anyone? Anyone else? Six.
Thank you, Master. I believe joy comes from within.
Joy comes from within. Anyone else? Jungin Sunim, where does joy come from? Not going to college.
신심에서.
It's from believing mind.
Believing mind, sin. Okay. Okay, very close to Chinese. Anyone else? Where does joy come from? Look at your life. Four.
The release of attachment.
Release of attachment. Anyone else? Where does joy come from? Yes, ma'am. Not thinking. Okay. Very good. That's a different scenario. This person here is not normal. But yes, it's true joy in not thinking. Ultimately, she's right. You find real joy in not thinking. In a way, may I point out to you that someday you realize, Miguel, for example, thinking is a form of harassment. You're being harassed. That's why you think. So the absence of thinking, it means that you're free from harassment, and it feels very nice. Trust me. The few moments there when you enter samadhi, you're free from harassment, from thinking, it feels nice. It's so true. Okay? Very good. Anyone else? Beyond that, where does joy come from? This is Christmas times. Huh? Yeah? One.
From giving, Master?
From giving, from Santa Claus. Yes, sir, in the back. My God, you guys are so Buddhist. You don't dare bring up Christmas? What are we? We're so scared of the Catholics and the Christians, we don't dare bring up Christmas? And we do have a Christmas tree here. You notice that? Yes, in the back.
Master is spending time with the people we love.
Spending time with people we love, okay? And this guy is a soft-hearted person. How about spending time with people we hate? Don't you enjoy it? Egging them on? torturing them? Huh? There? You guys are so one-sided. You only see the pleasant thing, but I also see joy in torturing or tormenting others. Yeah, yes, sir. 5.
Master, I think I may be saying something that may not be right here, but I feel like joy is in winning.
Meaning, yes.
No, not meaning, winning.
Winning, joy in winning, absolutely. Yes. Joy in winning and joy in losing. Have you thought about it? Sometimes we lose to, a loser. There's some joy in there. Yeah? Okay. JC.
저로 인해서 다른 사람이 기뻐하는 것을 볼 때 그때 즐겁습니다.
Because of me, I can make other people's happy.
Very good. Let me point out to you, okay? The most joy you find is from others. There's a joy when she talked about when you're free from thinking that's called bliss, a joy by yourself. That you can have through chant, through the ceremonies, for the one moment you stand and you chant, all of a sudden your mind blanks out, okay? There's a bliss there, there's a joy there. That you get to experience what we call the ultimate BMW joy, driving machine, okay? That kind of thing, okay? Because it's really a luxury, if you will, the joy of enjoying yourself by yourself. You don't need anything, okay? That bliss there is wonderful. That's from samadhi bliss, okay? That you will miss. Once you experience samadhi, you will be hooked for life because it's very nice, okay? And that's very dangerous for the chant people, the people who cultivate. Once they experience the samadhi bliss, they may be a split second, okay? And these wonderful things happen to them, and they tend to look forward to it again, okay? And they look for the same kind of intensity, and they don't realize that next time around it's not as intense anymore because your level has been raised. When you enter next level of samadhi, there's a rush. That's very, very, very nice. But once you're there, that after the first time, okay, subsequent times, it's not as intense because you're up here already. You understand? That's why people don't pay attention. But I pay attention to it because I've done it too often, okay? And so very, very important for you, tip for you, avoid looking forward to that bliss, that feeling of peace you experience when you practice. It will happen to you naturally. You don't have to look for it. Okay? It's a very important distinction. The meditation teachers, especially non-Buddhist teachers and Hinayana teachers, they sell you on this joy, this bliss when you meditate. Okay, that's why, especially mindfulness people like Thich Nhat Hanh and God, may his soul rest in peace. Is he dead or? I think he's dead, right? Okay, now I got badmouth him. Okay, may his soul rest in peace. Okay, he sells this meditation by you feel good, you feel blissful, and so forth. That is not meditation. Okay, that's salesmanship. That's a worldly meditation. In transcendental meditation, you're not supposed to be attached to the bliss and the joy you experience as you improve. Because as soon as you are attached to it, you no longer make progress. It's very, very dangerous. Okay? And this is, so it's easy for the mindfulness meditation teachers, the psychologists, the therapists, and so on. They sell to their clients, their students on this joy they experience in meditation. We don't, because we want you to keep on going higher and higher and higher, because it gets better as you get higher and higher. That's one of the joys of cultivation, by the way. It gets better and better and better. Why should you stop? I don't get it. Okay? This is about you, it's not about me. If I sell you about this bliss here, then the more of you will buy into it. But then the majority of you will be stuck at this very low level, worldly level. It's really piss poor. Okay? But we hope that you will increase your samadhi so that your bliss and joy will get bigger and bigger and keep on increasing. It's unlimited. When you get to the level where the nun was talking about earlier, when you can totally stop your thinking, it's incredibly blissful. Much more than the lower levels here. So for people to be attached to this nice feeling, this blissful feeling down here that the mindfulness meditation teachers sell, okay? To me, it's sad to see that, especially when they're Buddhist monks. Please stop it, okay? We are not afraid to push you and make you suffer, make you endure more tougher tests and do more, because we know that as soon as you are willing to do that, almost all of you keep on increasing your levels, and you find it a lot more fun. And you ain't seen nothing yet until your mind is completely free of thoughts, which is incredible. Okay? Don't want to miss that. That's what I want to sell you, not the good feelings down here. You feel so peaceful, you feel so happy. That's for babies. Okay? All right. But, so there's joy there. There's a joy when you practice on yourself and you realize that your life, you can enjoy life by yourself. You don't need anything or anyone. It's so cool. Okay? You don't need a drink, you don't need food, you don't need clothes, you don't need someone to praise you. Not at all. To adore you, if you still attached to it, then you will not get to the level where you have no more thinking. Okay? Number one. Number two, it doesn't stop there. Now you're free. You also, along the way, I also intend to train you, to teach you, to enjoy, to have joy, to find joy in others. That's part of your training. Let me be blunt about it. Hinayana people, as soon as I use the word Hinayana, whether it's Hinayana, Mahayana, Hinayana, it means that they're focused upon you only. It's not enough. You also, part of your training is I'm teaching you and training you to find joy in others. How? By Santa Claus, giving. Joy that's derived from others doesn't come from you stealing from them, from doing bad things to them, but it comes from your giving to them. And that giving act of yours brings joy to them, very much like the spirit of Christmas. Why is such a universal appeal, Christmas? Because it's a spirit of giving. You give gifts. You give this, you give that. And it makes people happy. That's part of the joy that you can learn to have in life. from bringing joy to others' lives. And that's how you get joy into your life naturally. And that's Mahayana. Mahayana is not about you sitting here and, from 3 to midnight and that's a training. No, that's why I asked you to not 进口, whatever they call it in Chinese, 闭嘴, whatever, when you don't talk and you don't talk to me, I'm a true cultivator. I want you to engage with people and learn from each other, okay? And find whatever makes them happy, each other happy, and then learn to give small things, very small things. And if you do that, I bet you carry it home, You bring it home with you, bring it to work with you, bring it everywhere with you. Yes, sir, 5.
Emitofuo Master, when we cultivate, we are trying to let go of all our attachments to worldly things. And when I hear you say like bringing happiness to others with gifts and other things, we are engaging in their material happiness, right? We are kind of participating in getting them happiness from material things. Would that be still good?
It's not necessarily material things. How about just kind words, encouragements? What about just when they're fearful, just talk to them, reassure them, comfort them. You don't have to always be material things. How just being kind to people. It doesn't have to be material things. Because your heart is full of kindness. That's giving of kindness. Without even speaking. If your heart is filled with kindness, it shows in your attitude, shows in your comportment. Okay? That's an act of giving right there. It's not always material things. But if you're given, you have a chance to give material things. You see a boy who wants a fire truck, and you happen to have one. Definitely go for it. Okay? My point is that people of the world are misguided into believing that joy in life is about pleasing themselves. I'm not saying I'm only trying to tell you that it should not be your only focus in life. Yes, we should enjoy our food, enjoy our cars, our music and so forth, okay, our clothes and so forth. That's normal. But also, don't make it just exclusive to yourself only, which I find to be piss poor, especially for you immigrants to this country. You say, okay, the pale-faced people gave you, again, I'm being racist. Yeah, bring it on, yeah. The pale-faced people gave us so much, okay, to their churches, to the government program, and so forth. And so, since we're poor and we don't have a lot, it's okay for us to take advantage of it and make a good life out of it. It's a good thing to do. As an immigrant kind of mindset. But it comes to the point where, how about you when you are no longer a struggling immigrant? How about learning from these pale-faced people and give back to society? Find your heart, okay? So that you learn about this joy of helping the people who need it. And it's very quiet joy. Now, you don't brag about it. You don't say, hey, Mom, I just helping 2 immigrants, this poor family, and so forth. This is what I love about the Christians and the Catholics. They help these people. They help because they're taught to help. In the wrong way, they taught also to convert them as well in a sad way, okay? If they were just taught to help them for the sake of helping them, that is so wonderful. It's a kind of joy that is very, very nice, let me tell you. Yes, 4.
Master, there's a really good bowing class on Monday that I was participating in at 6 a.m. It's Venerable Shimya. So at that whole day, I felt like free from harassment and not too many thoughts, or it was a blissful kind of thing. So I'm going to be expecting to feel like that again every time.
Don't expect it. It's very important not to expect it.
But whatever that is, on the mantra.
If it happens, it happens. Don't be attached to it. It's very important. I don't want you to be attached to it. It happens, it happens. Okay? Be free. All right? Yeah. And so this is an immigrant culture, especially in California. We have so many immigrants here because it's a land that welcomes immigrants. It gives everyone a chance, okay? And we have plenty of opportunities, and at some point in time, again, I stress, it's time for us to give back. This is part of what we're doing. I'm an immigrant. I'm grateful to this country. I may be racist. I may be short. I wish I were taller, okay? Richer and everything else, okay? But I'm still grateful for what we received. I received personally, my family received, my friends received, and so forth, okay? And that it's not from simply, Chan is not simply about deriving fun or joy or bliss from your own spiritual practice, but I'm teaching you to share it, to give back. If you do that, your joy, your bliss is more complete. It's not one-sided. It's a private thing. You do it because you're supposed to do it. You don't need recognition. You don't need people to approve of you. Okay? You don't need an award. Like, this is Person of the Year kind of thing. Okay? You do it because the act is itself brings joy to you because it makes others people happy. The happiness right there, okay? It goes back to you. That's the kind of joy I'm talking about. And that's what you're learning here. It's not simply crossing your legs. I want you to, spend time with others and get to enjoy each other's company and share things. Okay? That's part of your training. Yes, 4.
Thank you, Master. I want to say thank you so much for the YouTube Dharma that you give out to the world, and share a quick story that relates to the Daoan, people seeing him and then wanting to cultivate. Because when I first found you, I was looking up on YouTube Master Meditation, and then one of your videos from Saturday morning where you're not even speaking comes up. And I was just watching you, and I just felt so peaceful and a change in my whole environment in my room. And it made me want to reach out and come cultivate here. So thank you.
Thank you for your feedback. To the point here is that when you can learn to find joy in others, okay, but with no seeking mind. It's very important, that distinction. You try to give joy to others, okay? Like during Christmas here, where a lot of people, they collect toys and give it to the kids, I saw such purity in their hearts. They really enjoy doing it. They don't expect to be rewarded. That can be duplicated. It doesn't have to be only during Christmas. And that's too bad for them. They don't understand. It's not just Christmas. Every day is Christmas, if you will. You don't have to wait until Christmas to give. Huh? Yes, sir. 1.
Thank you, Master. The giving without seeking will be the perfection of the first paramita?
Yes. Okay? I want you to open your heart. That's part of our Chan training. I hope you get out of here. You may not enjoy cultivation, but I hope you will enjoy, we will enjoy cultivation eventually if you don't give up. But you will enjoy cultivation because you're learning to appreciate others. And that's a joy in there. Appreciate your mother, appreciate your wife, appreciate your husband, appreciate your son, so forth. There's real joy in there, folks. There's no seeking at all. Just enjoy them, appreciate them, And that's a free interchange of feelings. I like you because I like you. Okay? And not because you're ugly looking as a monk. I feel sorry for you. Okay? Sounds good? All right. That's what life is about, folks. What cultivation is about. It's not, you're not doing it in a vacuum. We're still with people. And there's joy in ourselves and joy in being with others. That's what I'm trying to share with you. Don't be so narrow-minded. You come here seeking for benefits for yourself, and you are getting great benefits for yourself. Okay? But you can get so much more. You just open your heart. Stop worrying so much about yourself. Take for yourself like these poor immigrants. They never have enough. You know that? I understand the mindsets of immigrants. We came to this country, we're poor, we have nothing, we have to build it up, okay, from the ground up. And it takes about 3 or 4 generations before you become comfortable and well off, okay? So therefore, it's never enough for us. That kind of mindset is sad. You don't have to live like that, folks. Next, it's still in ugliness. I think Master YongHua is obsessed with looks in a way. He says he's ugly, but he has people like him. Okay, and then he said Dharma seat for lecturing sutra. The Chinese temples, they have these Dharma seats are kind of very adorned, and this is the image of Buddhism, if you will. The Dharma master has to be good looking, nice clothes, and has to be adorned. Okay, and again, it's something that I don't understand. Maybe because I'm too poor, I cannot afford to have these. You know how expensive these things are? Extremely expensive. Okay, and so our focus is more on what we can do for you, make you feel more comfortable, more space for you, for food for you, and so forth, instead of adorning this thing here. Okay, and there's a plus and minuses, because most Buddhist disciples come to the temple, they expect statue, they expect adornments, okay? And that usually come, you know why? Fundraising. That's why it happens. The Buddhist disciples are very, very nice about it. The typical Buddhist disciples, and your mother, your fathers, your uncle's generation, when you ask them to help adorn a way place, they love to do it. They step up. Ask them to buy a way place, they don't. No. But when you have a way place and you want to adorn it, they step up. They, fix a roof for you and so forth. Okay, maybe they're afraid that run away with the money when you ask to buy a temple. They're afraid you might use the money to buy your retirement home in the Bahamas. Okay, but once you have a thing like this, you start doing real fundraising. I'm teaching you. Don't worry. Okay, when your turn, you can do a lot of fundraising. I'm doing this very quickly. Trust me, people like it. Okay. But my generation, I'm more focused on We will do it someday, but I'm more focused on providing services for you so that you come here and you can cultivate and you practice yourself, okay? But eventually, we will, hopefully, by the time I die, we'll make it more adorned, okay? His Dharma seat has his banner here hanging down, and a jewel canopy, that like an umbrella so on top, very expensive. I went to the Sea Lion Temple here, Los Angeles. Hacienda Heights, have you been there? You should take her there. They have this, you can call it canopy, jewel canopy, made from Japan. It's $500,000. I saw that, I was drooling. I said, wow, someday. It's beautiful, let me tell you. I saw that, I really drooled. I said, my God, this is success. Okay? So this is the traditional style of Dharma propagation. And I need to express my sincere gratitude to you that for subscribing to the principle of cultivation and not be horribly worried about, the externals, Yes, would you like to add something about subscription?
Thank you, Master. Yes, as your humble YouTube moderator, if you like cultivation, you could like the video and help others encounter the proper Dharma as well.
Okay. And actually, it's very important for you, that as a monk or nun, make sure you're not a bitch. Plotting for yourself. It's about getting what you want. Okay? It's not us at all. What we try to do is help you get what you want. No, you get what I want. What I want, I wait. I'm waiting for Bahamas and red cars and everything. It's coming, I know that. I tell myself. Okay. So embroider Buddha image, beautifully adorned, embroidered and so forth. So they have all sorts of things, and they're extremely expensive, let me tell you. Okay, very, very expensive. Painted Buddha image. They have Buddha statues and painted Buddha images, canopies and so forth. And that's the traditional way of doing it. Okay, we will do that, for example, gradually for DTT, because that's Pure Land Dharma. Chan Dharma, I prefer to be ugly. Okay, but Pure Land Dharma will be more and more adorned. Up there, Northern California. Okay, see, so that's a middle way. Okay. So the people went there to listen to the sutras, have deep respect, and have all developed a sense of reverence. That's why the monks and nuns invest so much money in adorning the thing, because it's very unusual, okay? Very expensive. And it came from the collective admiration and devotion of the Buddhist disciples, okay? All right? And I hope your generation, will not mind doing that. I don't like to do that because it usually requires me kissing up to the big donors. Okay? I don't see you writing a check for me for $500,000 canopy thing. Do you see yourself doing that? Okay. All right. It requires a certain kind of relationship management that I don't have time for. Okay, so it helps. That's the point. I recognize the importance of this. Okay, so what's the next best thing for you to do? Now that many of you coming and joining us and getting together collectively, ceremonies. is in a way to adorn this place here by your ceremonies. Okay? That's what they have to do next. With all this adornment, these fancy places, things, canopies and so forth, statues, embroideries, banners, and so forth. Next is ceremonies. Okay? So if we don't have this all the fancy adornments, then focus on ceremonies. All right. One of Buddha statues gifted to him by someone from a foreign country, of course, is a big shot. So people love to give Buddha images to him. The statues had some problems with the carving, and people couldn't put the fingers on it. Master Taoan said everything actually is fine except for one thing. He's very precise. He says, it's the flesh mound is up here. That's not done right. Okay? Now, Buddhism Bodhisattva has this bump on the head, not the cone on the head. It's different. Okay? The bump on the head, the round bump on the head, it's called the invisible summit. It says not done right. Okay? And so I don't know why they heat the thing. Maybe it was metal or something, okay? Maybe bronze or something. And so they had to heat it and then to reshape it. Okay, it's probably metal, okay, to improve upon it. And so his disciple did that. And he used a grinding stone and polished fresh the bump there to make it shiny, and it started emitting light after he was done. And even at night, without any lighting, actually it still emitted light. So they took a closer look, discovered a Buddha relic inside the flesh mound thing, and it's really a miracle. With Master Tao An's kind of credentials, he would not be cheating his disciples. Okay, so they believe it's a real apparition from a Buddha relic, and not only is it an apparition, but also it emitted light. Okay, for everyone to see. Okay, Master O Abbot in Korea. His relics also emit light, but not everyone can see it. Okay? But here, Master Taoan has one relic that emitted light. So it's really, really miraculous. Okay? And the fact is that it appeared from nowhere. Okay? So it's a Buddhist thing. Relics do appear. Poof, and they appear. Okay, and disappear as well, by the way. If they can appear, they can also disappear. And so people were impressed. They said, wow, no wonder Master Taoan told his disciples to work on the flesh mound. Okay, and so that helped increase the faith, more people to believe in him and follow him. Any questions? All right. Continue, please.
At that time, Master Daoan took in a lot of disciples. Among his disciples, many of them were enlightened, and many of them had way virtue. Therefore, the future generation continued to have great admiration for Master Dawan. During the 36th year of the Republic of China, at that time, there was a living Arhat in China. This living Arhat's name was Wu Jing, meaning endless. This was the word endless from the phrase endless afflictions. What abilities did this Arhat have? He was able to recite the great compassion mantra. He recited the great compassion mantra to heal people. No matter the illness, it would be healed right away. On Mount Putuo, he showed off his spiritual penetrations. This is the way place of Guanyin Bodhisattva. At that time, there were more than 500 monks at Mount Putuo. That year, they didn't receive many donations because few people visited Mount Putuo. So these 500 plus monks, once at Mount Putuo, they had no means to leave the island because they didn't have any money. So I think this is a reference slide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go over it. It helps for us non-Chinese people.
Okay.
他就在那就是因为给人治病，一般人对他就特别相信。
Because he was there healing people, ordinary people really believed in him.
相信他就画了2个船，2条船呢。
Because people believed in him, he collected enough donations to rent 2 boats.
就是义务把这500多和尚请进佛陀山。
He voluntarily transported these 500 plus monks from Mount Putuo to places like Shanghai and Shenzhen.
那么他这个名誉就很高，在上海、杭州、苏州那一带，没有人不知道这活罗汉。
He had a high reputation in the area of Shanghai, Hangzhou, Suzhou. There was not a single person who didn't know about the living arhat, Wu Jing.
这活罗汉呢，一些个做官的也相信，一些个老百姓更相信。
Some officials believed in this living arhat. Some commoners believed in him even more.
佛教里一些个出家人、在家人都相信。
In the Buddhist community, some left home and lay people all believed in him.
有一次，那时候我在苏州灵岩山那住，念佛堂那住。
At one time, I lived in the Buddha recitation hall at Mount Lingyan, Suzhou.
在念佛堂里，我遇到他。
I met him in the Buddha recitation hall.
他说这个是活罗汉，样子是不错，像一个罗汉一样，穿着破衣服。
He was called Living Arhat. His appearance wasn't bad. He had the appearance of an arhat, wearing tattered clothing.
可是我一看他这种的活罗汉呢，他快死了。我就问，我说你这是活罗汉？
But I took a look at him. The living arhat is dying. I asked him, "Are you the living arhat?"
咱这么叫的。我说你有什么本事？你叫活罗汉。
He said, "I don't deserve it, but people call me that." I asked, "What abilities do you have to be called the living arhat?"
我就给人医病，给人治病。我说你给人家治病，你应该给你自己治一治病。你自己的病你治好了没有？
Oh, I heal people. Heal people, I said. You heal other people, but you should heal yourself. Did you heal yourself?
问我说我自己有什么病？
He looked at me and asked, "What illness do I have?"
我说你有一个求名的病，将来你也有一个求利的病。
I said, "You have the illness of seeking for fame. In the future, you will have the illness of seeking for benefit."
你给人家治病，说那可没有人给你治病，没有人给你来治你这个病。
You heal other people now, but in the future, no one will heal your illness. There will come a time when no one will treat your illness.
我说我老实告诉你，你要再给人家治病啊，显你的这个神通啊，你一定会堕。
I said, I'll be honest with you. If you continue to heal others, showing off your spiritual penetrations, for sure you will fall.
堕落就是或者造罪，或者就不做出家，就是堕。
To fall is to either create offenses or return to lay life. This is to fall.
就好像从一个高的地方掉到一个低的地方，这叫堕。
It's like falling from a higher place to a lower place. This is to fall.
当时我和他讲这个话的时候，他就跪到我面前，这个活罗汉跪到我面前。我说你干什么？
At the time, after telling him this, he kneeled in front of me. This living Arhat kneeled in front of me. I said, "What are you doing?"
他说我要如果堕落，我求你渡我，求你渡我。
He said, "If I fall, I beg you to save me. I beg you to save me."
本来他可以，我叫他如果给人家不治病，就可以不堕。
Originally, it could have been if I taught him and he stopped healing people, then he wouldn't fall.
那么他不问我怎么样才能不堕落，他就说等他堕落的时候要我来渡。
But he didn't ask me how not to fall. Instead, he said, after he falls, to save him.
我当时也没加思索就答应了。我说好，你堕落，我来渡你。
Alas, at the time, I agreed without thinking, and I said, "Okay, when you fall, I will save you."
这个事情呢，很奇怪。
This situation was very strange.
等我到香港，在香港又遇到这个活罗汉，果然就不是活罗汉。
When I arrived in Hong Kong, I met this living Arhat again. Sure enough, he was no longer the living Arhat.
就变成一个凡夫，就在家，不是做出家人。
He became an ordinary person. He became a lay person. He was no longer a left-home person.
香港你见着我的时候，我还认得。我说你现在怎么？你这活络。
When I met him in Hong Kong, I still recognized him. I said, "What's going on with you now?"
看跑到什么样子？你怎么变成这个样子？
Where did the living Arhat go? How did you become like this?
都是你，你说我堕落，我就堕落了。你要不说我堕落，我怎么会这样子？
He said, "It's all your fault. You said that I will fall, then I fell. If you didn't say that I will fall, how can I become like this?"
他说你这个讲话讲得太灵啊！就有你一说我堕落，我就堕落了。
He said, "Your words are to the point. If you say I will fall, then I will indeed fall."
我说那你堕落了，我答应我要渡你呢，现在你还出家吗？
I said, "All right, you fell. I agree that when you fall, I will save you. Do you still want to leave the home life?"
所以出家我没有钱，没
He said, "Leave the home life? I don't have money."
没有钱，我给你钱就出家去。
I said, "You don't have money. I will give you money. You go and live the home life."
在香港又度的出家，度的出家启程的啊，就拿他当活佛那么恭敬了。
So in Hong Kong, I helped him live the home life again. There were people who respected him like the living Buddha.
天天就做早课，上早课，做完了也给他叩头，晚课做完了也给他叩头。
Every day, after morning ceremony, they would bow to him. Once evening ceremony finished, they would bow to him as well.
因为他启程本来想请我去帮助他，来拿我做招牌呀，但是我不去，我这个。
Because originally he wanted to invite me over to help him, to use me as his advertisement, but I didn't go.
招牌根本也不给人家卖，然后他就拿他又当了活罗汉。
My business sign doesn't sell well, so he used himself and became the living Arhat again.
所以小心一点呢，你这么恭敬他，他又会做。
I said, "Be careful. You respect him so much. He will fall again."
果然都不知道怎么办。所以修。
Sure enough, later, the living Arhat ran away again.
我见到的人多啊，那个活罗汉也是不丹啊，也是吃五，然后还一样会做，所以修道不容易。
I've seen cultivators fall. The living Arhat sat asleep and ate one meal a day, but still fell. So to cultivate the way is not easy.
Okay. Time is almost up. Yeah, I don't know how you jump from Master Tao onto this living art. But that's whatever it is. Okay. A long story. Anyone has any questions? JMT, go ahead.
궁금한 게 여기서 타락했다는 게 그러니까 더 이상 아란이 아니었다, 아란이었다라고 하는 게 단지 첫 번째 그게 스님에서 제가자가 된 걸 더 이상 아란이라고 안 한 건지 아니면 그의 삼매 레벨이 구정에서 추락한 건지 그게 궁금하고요. 첫 번째.
Master, here they mention about this living arhat bell. So does that mean he's no longer arhat, or he became lay person but no longer has ninth samadhi?
I don't know exactly, but he returned to lay life. A monk can return to lay life 7 times. Okay, he can go in and out 7 times. It's okay for monks to do that. Nuns cannot do that. Okay, fully ordained nuns are not supposed to do that. And so this guy here, he returned to lay life, but he was allowed to keep trying for a few more times. Okay, now, was he an arhat when he came back as a monk? I think so. It sounds like the story was that he ran away and then he got Master Shenhua's help, got some money from Master Shenhua, and then left the home life again because it costs money. You buy clothes, you buy things you need as a monk and nun and so forth. And so he got some money from Master Shenhua and he became a monk again. And because of his reputation, there were a lot of other monks and nuns who would be willing to help him. And apparently, he, based on the story, he continued to help heal a lot of people. He was continued to be known as a living arhat. Therefore, he was still an arhat, ninth samadhi, if you will. So yes.
네, 그럼 두 번째 질문은 다른 사람들을 치료하면 제가 많은 걸 알지 못하지만 제가 아는 한에는 다른 사람을 치료하면 자신이 그 과보로 몸이 아프지 않나? 일단 그걸 좀 묻고 싶고 마지막으로는 사람들에게 공경을 받고 절을 받으면 복을 그렇게 소진하기 때문에 그분이 이렇게 좀 추락하는데 다른 사람들의 공경과 절을 받기 때문에 빠른 복의 소진이 있었던 건지도 좀 궁금합니다.
So my second question is, when we cures others, in here, for example, when you cure someone, oneself receive the retribution of the person that they are curing. So that's basically hurting himself. Is that true? And the next one is, let's say this living arhat receive tremendous admirations and a lot of bows from others. Does that mean that his blessing deplete faster?
Okay, we're running out of time. And so can we go over this tomorrow night when we have more time and we can discuss it? You can ask more questions. But I'm curious about this on slide 37 here. I never saw this before. So I'm amazed at how beautiful that island is. That Putoshan here is an island that is dedicated to one Yin Bodhisattva. So look at how gorgeous it is. I can zoom in at all. So it's beautiful, really, really beautiful temple. I'm fascinated. God, that's a lot of money. It sort of makes you feel, more humble and insignificant, Okay. Well, I hope more such structure will be built so that I can look at them. At least I can draw. It's so beautiful. Huh? Have anyone been to this island? It's very auspicious. Yes, Professor Jane. You been there? What's your experience? God, yeah, this is all I get. As close as I get to this. Going there is hearing about it.
Yeah, it's a very small island. It's hilly. And it has more than 15 way places.
15?
Yeah, more than 15. It's spread over the entire island. And so it's the only transportation is by boat.
And the nearest city is where?
The nearest
Mainland?
that's, to Shenzhen, that's the bigger island.
Shenzhen. Oh, okay.
The biggest city, of course, that's Shanghai. Shanghai is about 100 miles away.
It's pretty close. Okay. All right. And are there good restaurants on the island, or?
There are a lot of seafood restaurants. And
seafood restaurant in one in Bodhisattva Island.
Yeah, because it's by the sea. And also there's a naval base.
Okay.
Yeah, the two business over there to the lay people over there is one is the temples, and then that's the naval base.
So it's tourism. I heard that there are some really great vegetarian restaurants there. Is that true or no?
It should be, but at that time I visited, I wasn't a Buddhist, and I was a poor student.
Well, you were doing seafood, of course. See, Master O Abbot is hoping to go there for a visit, right? Master O Abbot? And so now you see something you can look forward to. I heard that there's some really fancy vegetarian food there. Okay, restaurant. It's very real fancy preps, fancy looking food. I saw it on some sort of video some times ago. Okay. Anyway, yeah, O Abbot, you have something to look forward to, yeah?
Di Đà Phật. Hôm trước cách đây khoảng cái quán âm thất kỳ rồi đó, có mấy cái cô đệ tử của thầy ở bên San Jose đó cũng tới đây dự. Có một số bên Trung Quốc qua cũng tới dự ở đây. Thì mấy người đó, có cái cô Ivy đó, có qua bên đó rồi. Rất là đẹp. Cậu cứ gửi hình cho con, thì con hy vọng một ngày nào đó con đi. Nhưng mà bây giờ vấn đề visa Trung Quốc rất là khó.
Okay.
Emitofuo Master, so some times ago we have a Guan Yin Chi in Korea, and a lot of your disciples from San Jose as well as China came to participate, and one of them, Ivy, went to Potoshan before, and she said that she took picture, and I have it. It was very beautiful. And I hope that one day I will be able to go there myself. However, nowadays the visa for China is very difficult.
Maybe you should return to lay life so that it's easy to go. And then come back as a living arhat. Okay, thank you everyone. We'll see you tomorrow night.